The children of the sky, the sons of the snow, the Nords. Hailing from Skyrim, this is a race of strong, fierce men and women who are now one of the most favourite races among Elder Scrolls enthusiasts. Their natural resistance to frost and eager nature towards mastering a variety of combat skills make them foes to be feared, and as a result they often find themselves making up the best soldiers and mercenaries all around Tamriel. They love their family and respect their community, often striving to uphold their cultural values of honour and glory. Here are 5 facts about the Nords. Fact number 1. While Akatosh is considered the chief deity of the 9 divines, the original Nord pantheon actually has Shor as the chief. To others, Shor is known as Lorcan, but to the Nords he is no trickster god as the elves would consider him. Elves blame Lorcan for tricking them into becoming mortals, but Nords know him as the champion of men in their struggles against the elves, who they have quite the disdain for. The Nords believe that Shor was slain by the elven giants at Red Mountain in the Dawn Era, after which he was doomed to the underworld for the creation of the mortal plane of Nirn. That said, Shor continues to guide the Nords and grant them immortal champions such as Ysmir, who is the Nordic aspect of Talos. The reason why Akatosh was largely not considered the chief of Nord religion was due to a few things. One reason was that the Nords of the First Era only knew Akatosh as Auriel, the elven deity, who they demonized. Another reason is his dragon nature, combined with the fact that Nords had a huge dragon war. This was back in the Merethic era, where the dragons had ruled over them and created a tyrannical system with dragon priests having way too much power. The Nords rebelled, taking the fight to the dragons. There's also the prophecy of Alduin returning to eat their world, so you can understand why they wouldn't be fond of anything that resembles these winged beasts. Fact number 2. While the Nords consider themselves the true sons and daughters of Skyrim, they were actually not here first. They were first known as Atmorans and came from a completely different continent known as Atmora. We know that the climate there was incredibly cold, and it is speculated that it could only sustain a hunter-gatherer population, although this is not known for sure. As you'd expect, Nords are natural seamen and captain many merchant ships that reside all around the coasts of Tamriel. But why did the Nords arrive? Well, at some point in Atmora, the Nords were in the midst of a civil war. This is where the Nordic hero Ysgramor gathered all the people that he could and headed south, sailing over an incredibly long distance to reach the top of Tamriel and the northernmost point of Skyrim. When they arrived, there was actually already an elven population here. Both the elves and men lived in peace until the population of men grew too large and the snow elves decided to wipe them out. This didn't please Ysgramor, who went back to Atmora and brought over 500 companions to wipe the snow elves from the face of Skyrim. They succeeded, and more men from Atmora started coming over to Skyrim, and it is said that those who remained behind would now have perished due to the climate conditions, which became even chillier. Fact number 3. Nords are not only religious people, but they're also quite superstitious, and there's tons of interesting folklore that you can read about when you play Skyrim. For example, Nordic names are often chosen based on omens and given to children when they are young in a special ceremony. This is believed to have an impact on the children later in life. And while this may be regarded as superstition, sometimes it comes true. For example, there's a story of a young lady named Erica Valkor Serpentkin, who was given the Serpentkin name as her parents believed one day she would be saved by a snake. This was in fact the case when an assassin creeping up on her stepped on a viper, which killed him. There's also the tale of the Pale Lady from Morthal, which revolves around a ghostly woman who wanders the marshes looking for her lost daughter forever. She is believed to kidnap children who stray too far into the wilderness. There may be some truth to this, however, as there also appears to be with the story of the Red Eagle, but much of the superstition is complete mammoth dung, as a man known as Jarl Igroff once described it. For example, the standing stones in Skyrim are thought by many locals to be ancient monuments of dark power involving evil spirits and necromancy. People think that by touching the stones you will be possessed by great and terrible powers. Other examples of what is often bogus superstition is blaming the Falmer or snow elves for any unexplained misfortune. Fact number 4. The Nords also worship the Nordic goddess of storm, the widow of Shor, and the favoured god of warriors, Kyne. While most followers of the 9 divines would think that Kynareth and Kyne are the same thing, Nord traditionalists would definitely disagree. They see Kynareth as a mere pale shadow of Kyne. As you might expect, Kyne is much more warlike and assertive when compared to the nature-loving Kynareth, although both still have nature themes. Kyne is believed to control both wind and rain. Many actually consider Kyne to be the leader of their pantheon now, and it's no surprise considering that according to legend, her breath upon the throat of the world is said to have formed the races of men. Her Her daughters are also believed to have bestowed the Nords the gift of the thumb, which helped them stand against the dragons back in time. Furthermore, Kine is also known as the kiss at the end, because Nords also think she leads their dead to Sovngarde. Fact number 5, music and mead is very important in Nordic society. If you visit the various cities of Skyrim, you will notice that every city has a tavern, and every tavern is filled with jolly Nords getting drunk and singing songs. Most have pretty high tolerance for alcohol as a result, and Skyrim is responsible for some of the finest mead around, such as Blackbriar Reserve. Drink is significant, but if there is no music to accompany it at the tavern, prepare for disappointment. This means that the lack of a bard's presence is very rare, and it also means that bards are loved greatly. Imagine if the only way for you to listen to a song was from a certain person in your town performing it. Bards are actually so valued that there is a Bards College in Solitude, which is a musical school that aspiring bards can go to in order to kickstart their song-singing, instrument-playing career. Bards often sing songs about stories, such as the classic Ragnar the Red song. Songs in Skyrim are often about prophecies, such as the one about the Dragonborn and Alduin. This adds even more value to it because Nords, as we touched on in Fact 3, love their folklore and superstition. Ballads are also dedicated to great warriors, so it's not uncommon for citizens to exclaim that a doer of great deeds will be sung about in the future. Subscribe to FudgeMuppet for more videos just like this. Thank you so much for watching the video, and please hit the like button if you can to support us. We love making these videos for you, and we're so glad you like to watch them. Social media links are in the description. My name is Scott, and I'll nerd out with you again very soon.